The thing is, unfortunately, when we speak to ourselves in our mental state, our mind, every day we're speaking to ourselves. And most people actually speak very negatively to themselves. How many times, have you done something, you've forgotten something, and you're telling yourself, like, how stupid can you be? How dumb can you be? And listen to what you're actually saying, because you'd never speak like that to a friend or someone that you care about. So why do you do that to yourself? And you're constantly saying that. You're constantly telling yourself, I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm dumb, I'm not educated enough. Whatever you tell yourself, you're the only one that's holding yourself back by saying that. So what we need to do is reprogram your mind and change those beliefs. A lot of people don't actually realise that they have limiting beliefs. A lot of people will probably go their whole life and just think this is the way things are. So limiting beliefs can be things that have been told to you as a child, maybe while you were in school. A lot of people that are, famous, and they've achieved, things in life, they're motivational speakers, they'll tell you about how someone told them when they were a child that you can't do something, and their whole life they believed that until they overcame what negative belief was put into them. So it could be like a childhood trauma, it could be even growing up as a child, your parents said something that's just stuck with you, or maybe a memory, something in the past that you just can't get over. Maybe it was a bad relationship that you were in, and your ex-partner, hopefully your ex-partner, has told you that, I don't know, you're not pretty enough, you're not good enough, you don't deserve this, whatever. So because of that, you're holding that on. And I think because it's coming from someone close to you, like a family member or a partner or whatever, you tend to take on that information more because you're close to that person. Also, however old you are, so say if you're 40 years old, for those last 40 years or maybe 35 years or so, you've been telling yourself a story, and now it's time to change that story. And when you change that story, it's uncomfortable. So a lot of people are not happy about that. They're not happy about changing their story because it means getting out of their comfort zone. Sometimes, people can change bad habits, like they can have an addiction, alcohol, cigarettes or whatever, and one day they wake up, they just be like, right, that's it, I'm not doing it anymore, and they've stopped that, that pattern, they've broken that pattern because it's not serving them. And that's something that you have to remember. You're sending that out to the universe when you make that decision, and depending on how focused you are, you're giving that message out to the universe, and the universe will always give you something in return. So what you're doing is you're changing the story, you're changing the background, the past, and telling yourself that it's always been the case, you've always had money, and you're tricking your subconscious mind, because your subconscious mind thinks you've always been poor. So when you're telling yourself, I've always had money, I've always been rich, you're thinking you've had a great life. And by saying that, you're actually reprogramming everything. So the next section we're going to look at, once you've changed your mentality, once you've got a set goal, we're looking at affirmations. I'm sure if you're manifesting, if you're on this journey, you've come across affirmations. Affirmations are basically statements that you're telling yourself. You read them out loud. I like to say them in my head mentally. You can write them out, which is really good because psychologically it's proven that if you write something, not on your phone, not the notes on your phone, but if you manually write something, it's more likely to come into form. So affirmations, when you're doing these, change them to I am, or start them with always. So for example, tell yourself when you write your affirmation, like, I am beautiful, rather than I want to be beautiful, or I always have money, rather than I want £10,000 or whatever it is, because by doing that, you're telling yourself it's already done and you've always had that. So there's no right or wrong way to do this. You just do what feels comfortable for you. And I know a lot of people probably feel like, I don't know, I want to be taught. But the thing is, you've always been manifesting anyway. Whatever you've achieved in your life, you have already programmed yourself to get there. So just do what feels right for you. There's different ways to manifest and do affirmations. For example, like I said, you can read them. So you can write sentences and then read them out loud. You can say them in your head, you can write them out. How long you should do it? Well, I would just say as many times as you can, but you don't want to feel drained. You don't want to feel like it's a chore. You want to basically give yourself, like, I would definitely say at night time before you go to bed. That's a very good time before you just fall asleep. That's a good way to do some affirmations, maybe first thing in the morning and maybe a few times throughout the day. Me, myself, I don't really do it for maybe 5-10 minutes because I know some people do that. I think it depends on what it is you're trying to manifest. So maybe give yourself like 5 minutes throughout the day. But then if you don't want to do it for a full 5 minutes, you don't have to. Just until you feel that it's ingrained in your mind, that you remember this. It's like trying to remember, like trying to recite something. I remember as a child, I learned the Quran and I memorized that. So I used to learn like a sentence at a time. So maybe do it something like that where you're just, affirming the same thing until it feels comfortable and you're like, you know what, this feels like I can remember it. It's not something that's alien to me or my mind. And once you start feeling comfortable, then you can stop and maybe go back to it later on in the day. You can also listen to meditations, which is really good. I quite enjoy that because if you are out and about or, if you're like around other people, you can put headphones in and just listen to affirmations, listen to meditations. I think night meditations are really good. It might get time to get used to that because if you sleep at night and you find it uncomfortable, like having noise, you might not be able to sleep properly, but I think you can try and adjust into it. So give it time, maybe give it a week or two, see if your body does, you want to obviously sleep relaxingly, so let your mind get into that mode. You don't have to have it on all night, remember. You can put it on loop, but you can even just listen to it a couple of times before you fall asleep when you're in that drowsy state, and hopefully that will work as well. One of the tips that I'd like to give is there is an app called Parrot. So Parrot, like the bird parrot, and I find that's really good because you can basically make your own affirmations and put them into this app. You record them with your own voice, and I think that's really good because your subconscious mind, it recognizes your own voice. So rather than someone else speaking, if it recognizes you speaking, it's more likely to ingrain, and that will help you, speed up the process as well. There's no right or wrong way. Like I said, just do what feels good for you. It should be fun. Some people say try and manifest like a coffee. I say just whatever, what doesn't feel like a big thing for you. So just try and manifest something small. For example, it could be like someone giving you a free muffin, if you like muffins, or if you want a specific bar of chocolate, manifest someone giving you that for free. Manifest a gift, it could be anything. Just play around with it. It's actually so much fun, and then you'll see, because it'll work for you, you'll see the power, and your belief will grow. Once your belief grows, it'll be easier for you to manifest because this works. One of the things I would like to say is that be careful with some of the content online if you are listening to meditations, because some people can give you meditations with different frequencies, and there's subliminal messages out there as well ingrained within the videos. You don't know what's in them unless, I don't know, if you're some tech person or you're into music, and you can really find out exactly what these frequencies are. So personally, I would use them with caution. Like I said, the Parrot app's amazing. You don't really need anything else. See, the thing is, a lot of people look for what's the best technique, is there a magic way to do this a lot faster and get my results? But being honest with you, just your own affirmations, and I think the Parrot app, doing them within themselves is probably going to give you the results, so you don't actually need anything else. It's very common. It's probably expected for you to waver because, especially if you're new to this, you know, your mind will be a bit confused what's going on, and even like your conscious and your subconscious mind is going to be like going back and forth, because you're wondering what's real, what's not. You're used to being things a certain way. So it's very common for you to waver. Just go back to your affirmations. I like to put like my hand on my heart, my right hand on my heart, and just say my affirmations and close your eyes. Just try to feel, imagine what you're saying. Give yourself a few minutes, you know, so that you're actually in that moment. Try to increase your vibration, and one of the fastest ways to do this, I always tell people, is like I said, just put your hand on your heart and gratitude. Be thankful for, start with small things, little things, which is not to say that they're any less of importance, but you know, something that you are grateful for, like your voice, your eyes, your skin, waking up in the morning, your hair, your hands, just, you know, being able to walk, food. Start off with things like that, and then, you know, be grateful for whatever you have specifically in your life, like your family, your loved ones, and go on to other things. You can also like just sit down, have a glass of water, relax. When you drink that water, try and maybe say your affirmations as you're drinking the water. And breath work, just, you know, take a minute, take 3 deep breaths, breathe in, hold, breathe out, and do that 3 times. And that really helps calm everything down and get your mind focused again, and go back to your affirmations, so that you're basically starting off and getting your mind programmed again. Flip the 3D. If you see something that's throwing you off track, the 3D is the reality, and I always say it's the past, because what you're seeing now in the reality is already something you manifested previously, so it's the past. What we're manifesting now is still to come. So you might, you know, see things that are unpleasant, you don't like. If you're trying to manifest like a specific person, if that's what your goal is, then you might get, you know, mixed emotions, mixed feelings. Try not to focus too much on that. You know, you do see people that are like, you know, my circumstances are so unique, they're so unreal. Like they might be blocked and they're trying to manifest this person who's not speaking to them. But remember, you know, the same way that they blocked you, they can unblock you using the same finger. People's feelings change all the time. How many times, even like think about yourself, I've done this, when, you know, you're just like in a bad mood, or you're just in a bad like vibration, and you're just like, I don't want to speak to this person, I just want to get away, and you just like, you know, need time to yourself. But then afterwards you're like, actually I feel bad, I should have not reacted that way, or you know, that person deserves a second chance, and then you go back and talk to them, you know. So honestly, don't worry, that's just it could be lots of reasons that happens, but remember your end goal, stay focused on that, and remember what you're trying to manifest is already out there. It's a parallel reality. That reality is there. It is something that can happen. It's not something that is so unique that it's just not possible. Remember what I said, if you conceived it, it is possible. So it's already there. It's just a case of aligning to your vibration, and once that happens, voila. What we have to remember is just trust the universe. Trust it is going to happen. Trust that it's there, it's for you, and it's coming to you. And if you stay in that sort of like alignment, then, you know, it's just a matter of time. Work on yourself. Work on your self-concept, because, you know, if you're constantly waiting, if you're impatient and you're thinking, why is it not coming, why is it not here yet, whatever you desire, that's just you being in lack. That's just you being impatient and in need. It's not a good state to be in. You should be happy regardless. You should be you know, whatever the end result would be, you should be able to cope with that either way. So, you know, something even if it is like a job you're trying to manifest, if you're trying to specifically manifest a certain role or position, work on your self-concept. And what that means is when you're doing your affirmations, rather than having all your affirmations about, I want this position, I want that company role, blah, 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 try and have more affirmations about yourself, like, I am worthy of this. I am, like, for myself, I'd say I'm a queen. I get respected. I always get my desires. Whatever I want, I achieve, and whatever I manifest comes to me quickly. So by saying things like these, rather than focusing on the end result too much, you're going to be in a good vibration. You're going to put yourself on a pedestal rather than the position or another person or whatever. And because now you're at that position, you're worthy of being loved. You're worthy of getting that position. You're worthy of having whatever you desire come to you. Then it will come to you, because before, maybe the universe did not give it to you because you're in a state of lack. You didn't feel you deserved to be in that position. Remember, have fun. This is all about having fun. It shouldn't feel like you're trying so hard to achieve something that it's giving you anxiety, it's making you feel uneasy. Manifestation should be fun. And remember, your thoughts are your reality. Your thoughts create your reality. So whatever you're thinking is what's going to come to form. So one of the things that I would like to say is that be very careful what you're actually exposing your mind to, because when we're watching like TV, when we're watching the news, even when we're surrounding ourselves with people that are giving us negative talk, we need to kind of like, clean up your mindset afterwards. And the way you do that is by like manifestations, listening to good audiobooks, listening to your own affirmations. So just basically be careful what you're actually absorbing. Your mind takes everything in, and like even on social media, I'm sure people have great intentions, but they'll be like, this is out with your control, don't do this, do that. And I don't really like it, because I don't feel it's basically limiting. It's telling you to limit yourself, and I don't think that's correct. When you're on this journey, you will come across, like they call it, birds of landing. So it's different signs. For example, if you're like wanting a specific car, you might start seeing that car everywhere, that colour. You might start seeing like pictures of it. You might see it online in videos. So that's basically a sign the universe is giving to you that what you desire is coming to you very soon. And I always like to give like a small Islamic message in there, because I am Muslim myself, and I believe that the universe, God, whatever you call it, is there to protect you, to give you the best. It's not there to like take anything away from you, or it wants bad for you. One of the things in Islam that we are taught is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is God, he, I'm saying he because that's the way I refer to it, but we don't know if it's the creator basically. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves you more than 70 mothers. So if you actually think of that, I don't know what your relations are like with your mum, but what it means is referring to a mum having that maternal feeling, how much love, like even animals, when they, have a child, animals protect their child, they, love them, they feed them, and obviously they don't have the same like mental capacity as humans. So if you imagine like how much love and the bond that a mum has with their child, God loves you 70 times more than a mother. And we are told that when we pray, when we ask the God for anything, when we do a prayer and you ask God whatever you want in life, what we are told is that either God will give you something later, which is better, you might get something that you want now, or he's got a better plan for you. It might not be what you desired, but he's got a better plan for you. And sometimes that's what we have to realise as well. How many times, I've spoken to people that have manifested, say if it's a car, and then, once they've got that, they're like, actually, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And that's human nature. Human nature, we're never satisfied. We always want the next best thing. And that's fine. But I just like to have that, I find it fascinating that there's that connection that God has put out there. You will have your ups and downs, you'll have your good and bad days. Just raise your vibration. Remember, drink water with your affirmations. Eat well, eating raw, like good nutritious food, like almonds, nuts, oats, these kind of things will raise your vibration. Gratitude will raise your vibration. And just try and be aligned, try and be positive. That will help you as well. When you are in a mode of lack, for example, if you want to get married, if you want love and affection from your partner or a partner who you don't have, and that's what you're trying to manifest, you might see other couples, you might see other people being affectionate, loving towards each other, and you're thinking, why do I not have that? Why have they got that and not me? Why is everyone else so lucky and they get everything? I'm not saying that your situation is so bad that you need a miracle to fix the situation or to make your desired outcome come to you, but we basically don't know. Just you be happy in the knowing that it's coming and it's there, and the universe will guide you. Sometimes you will just get a feeling, you'll just get an inkling that you should be doing something, and somehow you will end up at the right place at the right time doing the right thing. Just follow your heart, follow what you're feeling, your gut instinct is, and it will guide you. Whatever you desire is written for you. It's already written for you. So it's already yours. You don't have to, you're not creating anything new. You're just basically aligning yourself to achieve what is already claimed to be yours. Remember, night meditations are great. Try that. Don't overthink of the process. Don't think of the how. Just try and live in the end. Remember, whenever you're doing something, so if you're at work sitting there, you could be doing your work, but in your mind you're living your dream. If you're cooking, again, in your mind you're basically doing that task, whatever task you're doing, cooking, cleaning, ironing, whatever, you're doing it with your loved one. Your loved one's there talking to you, you're having a good time, and have fun, enjoy the moment. Remember what I said, your mind has been accustomed and trained to think these thoughts for however old you may be. So you have to remember it's not going to change overnight, and you might feel a bit uncomfortable at first. You probably will, because it's new, but we will get there because you're in control. Remember, everyone is different and everyone's story, everyone's situation is different. So just hang on in there and just stay focused as much as you can. If you have the attitude that it's done, if you think that no matter what, my end result is here, I'm getting it, it's just a matter of time, prepare yourself, that this is me, I'm going to live this life, you will achieve that. And you're no longer entertaining what's not serving you, because whatever's in the past is not serving you if you're in a situation now where you're not happy. We all have those bad days. We have days where just you don't feel yourself. I think especially if you have gone through a lot of things, if you do suffer from mental health, I'm not saying it's not there, but it's something we can overcome over time. So what I suggest is maybe change your thought process, change your patterns, your daily routine. Watch a funny video. You get adult colouring books. Just go into something like that. What you're basically trying to do is divert your attention. So if you are feeling a bit anxious, you're overthinking things, slow down. You want to stop that process and basically change your thinking, focus your thinking to a different avenue. Listen to an audio, listen to something funny, listen to something entertaining. I hate to say it, people have got used to, having mental health issues, telling yourself I've got anxiety, telling yourself I've got depression, telling yourself that this is, my condition. I've got a specific condition, and because of that, I can't do X, Y, Z. Well, you know what? You can change your story. I'm not saying you don't suffer. Trust me. We've all been there, and I myself have gone through fair share of things as well. But at the end of the day, you have the ability to change that. I always say, if you're alive, if you're breathing, you can change your story and you can flip the situation that you're in. So I'm not saying it's not uncomfortable, but you have to take that step if you really want something badly enough. Listen to something different, just get your mind focused elsewhere, and that will help you be more grounded and help you align yourself. And that's what we're just trying to do. Keep yourself aligned on the same road, the same path, and just look at your end goal. So imagine like a straight road, and you've got your end goal at the end, and you're just going straight there. You will have bumps and whatever across the road, but along the way we want to get there, and we will get there no matter how. So don't worry if you do waver a little bit. So that's basically what you're telling your mind, which is one of the most powerful organs, if not the most powerful organ in your body. You probably heard of stories that people have come out of comas. People have achieved all sorts just by thinking, just by telling themselves that this is not the story. People refuse to believe they've got, life-threatening illnesses and so on. So it's whatever you believe, and you'll be able to achieve that. So the way you do this is that every time you get a thought process, every time you start thinking the old story, because it will happen, it's natural, you're not going to switch overnight. Just tell yourself stop. Tell your mind cancel that thought, go back and restart living the new story that you're telling yourself. Many times as possible, when you're out and about, when you're going your day-to-day life, whether you walk, whether you drive, whatever you do, you're constantly thinking. A lot of people can probably relate to this, but your mind's constantly active, and whether you realise or not, you're thinking things. It might be like, you might be thinking, I'm getting late for work, I'm going to be late again, my manager's not going to be happy, whatever. So what we're going to do is flip that. We're going to change that, because that is an assumption. So you're going to tell yourself, I'm always on time, I'm always early, I'm there before everybody else, I'm the most dedicated employee in the company. So by telling yourself, the opposite of what you're thinking, ultimately over time, you will do that. Your actions will automatically be that way, because that's what you're telling your mind, which is very powerful. You're going to achieve, and you're going to manifest your desire, whatever it is that you're wanting to achieve and you're trying to place into your life or change your life in any way. You are basically going to assume that's happened, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of if you know how it's going to happen or not, regardless of if you think it's even possible. Because if you think it's possible, if it's come to your mind, basically, if it's an idea that you have concepted, then that is something that can happen. When you are trying to manifest, there is the law of attraction, but there's also something called the law of assumption. And the way the law of assumption works is that you assume something is already done. So an example is, you assume you're having chips and cheese for lunch tomorrow, because like maybe on a Tuesday, that's what you always have, and that's what you've had for a long, long time. So your brain knows it's a Tuesday, that's what I'm having. The same way, your mind assumes certain things about other situations as well. For example, you could just assume a certain person is always late because for the past however many times you've met, they've not been on time. So you just tell yourself this person's always late, and that's an assumption. So the same way, we have to assume you're going to achieve and you're going to